Hello everyone, this is Seema Jharani from KYMS Academy. I welcome you all on this platform. In verbal ability part, out of the three sections, we have already discussed para jumbles and para summary questions, how to ace them, and the tips and techniques of both the things. In today's session, we are going to discuss the tips and techniques of solving para completion questions, or rather, I should say sentence insertion questions, because there is a very thin line between both the things, and in a way, they are different also. 2022 से तो आपको सेंटेंस इंसर्शन के ही क्वेश्चंस आ रहे हैं. So I'm going to discuss how to ace those questions in today's video, and together we make it happen. So let's get started. You don't need to conquer the whole syllabus today. Just win this hour, then the next. That's how champions are made. So basically this sentence talks about the perseverance. Okay, keep trying until you succeed. So do not try to become master in a day. It takes its own time. Just be consistent in your performance. Now, just for your knowledge, as you can see, I have here two specimens of two kinds of para completion. So this is something that is a kind of para completion only. So now here you can see entire paragraph is given with a blank at the end. It means this particular question is asking you to go for the conclusion of this particular paragraph. Okay, तो अगर blank end में आता है तो वो conclusion पूछता है, but might be possible कि he also gives you the blank at the beginning of the paragraph. So maybe he's asking you for the opening statement, and there is one more possibility that he can also give you the blank in the middle of the paragraph. Maybe he's asking you the middle part of the paragraph. So it can be any of these three things. All right. And then on the basis of that particular blank, he's going to give you 4 options, right? तो आपको देखना है out of these 4 options इनमें से कौन सा ऑप्शन हमारे इस पैराग्राफ को कंक्लूड करेगा या उसको कंप्लीट करेगा. ओके, तो फर्स्ट कैन बी ऑफ दिस टाइप. बट जो एग्जाम्स में इन दिनों पूछे जा रहे हैं वो इस तरह का पैरा कॉम्प्लीशन है. द नेम ऑफ सच काइंड ऑफ पैरा कॉम्प्लीशन इज सेंटेंस इंसर्शन. अब इसमें आप देख सकते हैं दिस सेंटेंस इज बेसिकली द एलिमिनेटेड सेंटेंस फ्रॉम दिस पैराग्राफ. ओके, तो ये पूरा पैराग्राफ है और इस सेंटेंस को यहाँ से एलिमिनेट कर यहाँ पर आपका लिखा हुआ होगा. इट विल बी रिटन ओवर हियर. फाइन. And as you can see again, 4 brackets are given: bracket 1, bracket 2, bracket 3, and bracket 4. It means what? It's a kind of fill in the blank. Okay, so you have to insert this particular statement in any of these 4 brackets. Okay, so if we talk about both kinds of para completion or sentence insertion questions, 5 to 6 strategies are there, and the strategies are same for both type of questions, barring 1 or 2 things. Okay, so that I will discuss with these slides. Now, techniques to solve para completion and insertion question. Grasp the core theme. Now, core theme is something that we have been discussing repeatedly. Whether it's about reading comprehension, it's about para summary, you need to identify the core idea, okay, the central idea. Before attempting to complete or insert anything, read the paragraph carefully and identify the central idea or argument. Central idea means with what purpose the author has written the paragraph. Okay, what is the main idea behind writing this particular paragraph? Of course, the tone, as I told you earlier, also tone is something which plays a very important role in identifying the central idea. It can be analytical, descriptive, sarcastic, etc. So obviously, we discuss many types of tones. The flow of thought, how the paragraph is going. Okay, so to maintain the flow is very important. Next, predict before you peak. Now बेटा जो सेकंड टेक्निक है ये आपको वर्क करेगी जो मैंने आपको फर्स्ट बताया था पैरा कॉम्प्लीशन, वेयर अ ब्लैंक विल बी गिवन टू यू आइदर एट द बिगिनिंग और इन द मिड और एट द एंड. तो वहां पर ये टेक्निक ज्यादा वर्क करती है, राइट? If it's a para completion question, try to predict what kind of sentence will logically follow before looking at the options. So if the last part of the paragraph, okay, is missing, fine. So he is going to give you 4 options. So after reading the entire paragraph, you can easily predict that what can be the possible end. तो आप थोड़ा पहले predict कीजिए और फिर बाद में options पर जाइए. तो अगर आपने जो predict किया है answer, if it matches one of the answers given over here, then might be possible that is the correct answer. तो ये हो गया para completion वाला. Now, if it is a para insertion, read the given sentence first and think about what role it plays. Suppose the eliminated sentence is given over there, as we discussed earlier also. तो वहां पर आपको देखना पड़ता है कि वो बेसिकली व्हाट दिस सेंटेंस इज ट्राइंग टू से, वेदर इट्स अ कॉन्ट्रास्ट और मे बी इट्स एन एग्जाम्पल टू समथिंग. तो जस्ट आइडेंटिफाई दी थिंग्स कि ये पर्टिकुलर सेंटेंस कहाँ पर आ सकता है. ओके, इज इट एन एनालॉजी, क्या ये कंपैरिजन है किसी चीज का? इट्स अ डेफिनेशन, अगर वो डेफिनेशन है तो चांसेस आर देयर दैट इट इज गोइंग टू फिट इन द फर्स्ट ब्लैंक. ओके, कंक्लूजन है तो इट इज गोइंग टू कम एट द एंड ऑफ द पैराग्राफ. और कंट्रास्ट है तो कंट्रास्ट है, इसका मतलब इट इज गोइंग टू बी इट इज गोइंग टू कम इन द मिडिल पार्ट. Or a clarification. Clarification is what author started something with some say idea or maybe some hypothesis is there and some clarification is there related with particular idea. तो वो उसके बाद ही फिर आ सकता है. So this you have to see while reading the paragraph. Now look for structural cues. This is again something very important. Pay attention to transition words or connectors. This again I have been telling you repeatedly. Whether it's para summary again or it's a para completion, these are the things that are going to help you a lot. Now contrast, however, but, although, yet. अब आप समझ गए होंगे कि if these words are given, suppose if in my eliminated sentence, if this word is given, so it is very sure that it cannot be the beginning of the paragraph. It is going to come in the middle of the paragraph. Conclusion, if conclusion is given, words like therefore, thus, hence, you come across these kinds of words, again there is a possibility that it might come at the end of the paragraph, maybe in bracket 3rd or bracket 4th, depends, okay, how the flow of the paragraph is going on. Illustration, for example, such as अगर आपका elementary sentence में for example लिखा हुआ है such as लिखा हुआ है, तो maybe it is the justification of something which has been said earlier in the preceding sentence. Okay, demonstrative pronouns like this, that, these, those. So अगर आपकी elementary sentence है वापस से these words are occurring, so obviously it is suggesting us that some preceding sentences there that talks about a certain policy, certain idea, certain opinion, and for that reason we are writing this or that, these or those. Personal pronouns, you can never start any paragraph he, she, with he, she, they, etc. But never start, it is going to be extreme word, because at times it has happened that 1 or 2 paragraphs ऐसे रहे जहाँ पर starting goes with these also, but rarely does it happen. Okay, तो हम standard चीज लेंगे यहाँ पर. तो if like these personal pronouns are given in any sentence, so again he is given, it means there must be the name of some boy. She is given, there must be the name of some girl, right? So we have to look for the names and thereafter we can go for such sentences. Eliminate smartly. Now when we say eliminate smartly, so it's like understood that this technique is going to work when you are going to solve the para completion question. Para completion, again I would repeat, I mean to say over here that if you are given the blank either at the beginning or at the end or maybe in the midst, okay, because आपको eliminate आप कभी कर पाएंगे जब आपके पास 4 options रहेंगे. But sentence insertion में there are no option, only the eliminated sentence is given separately. Okay, तो वहाँ पे टेक्निक वर्क नहीं करेगी. So अगर आपको फर्स्ट वाला पैरा कॉम्प्लीशन वाला टाइप आता है, so रॉन्ग ऑप्शंस को एलिमिनेट करना है. यहाँ पर भी स्ट्रैटेजी वही रहेगी जो हमने पहले स्टडी किया था. If any option has something which is absolutely new topic is being introduced, which is not at all related to the paragraph, so that yes, you can eliminate that particular option. If extreme words are given, you can eliminate. Attractive word traps are given, you can eliminate. So there are certain things on the basis of which you can eliminate the options. New idea is given, undeleted idea is given, repeat what is already said. This is something really very important. Many times it happens that author, he plays with the words. Okay, he has given any sentence, okay, and eliminated sentence, or maybe one of the options, a sentence is given which conveys the same thing. The only thing is he has changed the word, but meaning remains the same. So that is what we call repetition. So repetition should always be avoided. Contain extreme, absolute or philosophical statements, sound awkward or redundant. Redundant means unnecessary, right? Now, respect the tone. Tone is something that is actually going to help you understanding the entire flow of the paragraph. और आप देख सकते हैं कि हमारे जितने भी अभी तक वीडियोस बने उन सब में टोन 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 बार बार सामने आ रहा है, राइट? So the sentence maintains the emotional and intellectual tone of the paragraph. So basically, what do you understand by this particular statement? Now you see, Suppose a paragraph is there, a witty or sarcastic tone should not end with a flat factual line. So if the tone of the paragraph is sarcastic or ironical, तो obviously आपका जो end होना चाहिए वो भी किससे होना चाहिए, एक sarcastic tone से ही हो सकता है, एक plain sentence से तो definitely नहीं हो पाएगा. Why? Because you have to maintain the flow of the paragraph. A critical tone should not conclude with something overly optimistic. Again ये आपको help करेगा para completion में. So if the entire tone of the paragraph is critical, how can you end that particular paragraph on optimistic note? Okay, so this is something that you have to take care of. अभी हम जब बात करते हैं इसके बारे में तो obviously it sounds easy, but actually during examination or when you solve such questions, तो नॉर्मली हम थोड़ा सा वी गो और ही हम थोड़ा सा आउट ऑफ द ट्रैक चल जाते हैं और हमें लगता है कि नो दिस कैन बी द आंसर, बट देन यू हैव टू टेक केयर ऑफ द टोन्स, राइट? नाउ recognize common structure. Some common logical progressions include, so whenever you go for para completion sentences or sentence insertion questions, you have to actually look for the logical consistency. Okay, logical consistency means कि like a flow should be there and flow should be very neat and clean. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि आपने किसी चीज को नेगेटिव से स्टार्ट किया तो आप नेगेटिव पॉजिटिव ऐसे आ रहे हो. नो, माइट बी पॉसिबल दी ऑल सेंटेंसेस आर नेगेटिव एंड देन वी आर कमिंग डाउन टू positive sentences. So this is how you have to check the flow of the paragraph. So general to specific means first the author is talking about something in a generic sense. Okay, he is being objective, and then he is coming down to the specific tone. Specific means he is being subjective. So this is how you have to check the flow. Then statement and example. Author has given any statement, okay, any opinion, and then in order to justify the particular statement, he is going to give you certain example. So if statement is given, an example is given as the part of the element, it's a part of the paragraph, तो ये obvious है कि statement के बाद ही example आएगा. Problem and solution can never come at the beginning. If problem is given, तो obviously solution will come after the problem. Premise and conclusion. Why premise? Premise means basically reason or some justification. So author has given you certain statement. For that statement, he is going to give you certain premise in order to justify the particular statement. And on the basis of statement and premise, you are going to go for certain conclusion. So this is how you have to maintain the flow of the paragraph. Cause and effect. What are the reasons and what are the repercussions? So reasons will come first and the repercussions, effects will come afterwards. Idea and contrast. Okay, suppose if two people are there and they have their own ideas, so obviously they are going to give their viewpoints by writing certain words, but, although, though. So obviously you have to see the contrasting element also. Okay, so these are the certain tips and techniques to solve para completion or sentence insertion questions. So I have two questions for you, so let's discuss them now. Now, as you can see in this particular slide, a sentence is given which has been eliminated from this paragraph. Okay, it increased our ancestors' chances of survival by enabling them to hunt more successfully or to cooperate more extensively. The dominant hypothesis in modern science believes that language evolved to allow humans to exchange factual information about the physical world. Now, this is the dominant hypothesis. It means the main idea. Okay, and it talks about the evolution of language, right? But an alternative view is that language evolved in modern humans at least to facilitate social bonding. Now you can see over here, this is a contrasting word. This is one dominating idea and this is the alternative view. So I think these two sentences will go together. So if I keep this particular statement in bracket 2, it will disturb the logical flow of the paragraph. Okay, so it cannot come over here. I can eliminate bracket 2. Now, it increase. It is what? Again, it's a personal pronoun. So if you put this sentence in bracket 1, so it stands for what? It stands for whom? Okay, हमारा कोई idea नहीं यहाँ पर, so it cannot come in bracket 1. So bracket 1 is eliminated, bracket 2 is eliminated. तो आप देख सकते हैं these two sentences will come together. So now what is the possibility of inserting this particular sentence? Either this sentence will come in bracket 3 or in bracket 4. Alright, so let us read now. But an alternative view is that language evolved in modern humans at least to facilitate social bonding. So this was the one thing, this was another thing, and here you can say that author is saying that evolution of language, it basically helps in facilitating what? Social bonding. Okay, the role of the language is to facilitate social bonding. Language meant that things could be explained and that plans and past experiences could be shared efficiently. So this is again the benefits of language. And this is also the benefit of language. Okay, benefits of language, it means they can be put together. Now the question is whether this particular statement should come over here or over here, क्योंकि दोनों ही benefits की बात कर रहे हैं. ठीक है, अब हम यहाँ पर देखिए हम keywords को pick करेंगे. It increase our ancestors chances of survival. Now it here stands for language. यहाँ पर हम evolution of language की बात कर रहे हैं, तो I think now it's very clear that obviously it will either come over here or over here, because here we also talking about the language and here also we are talking about the language. But here this particular sentence says it increase our ancestors chances of survival by enabling them to hunt more successfully or to cooperate more extensively. आप देख सकते हैं यहाँ पर जो words है to hunt more successfully and to cooperate, cooperation की बात कर रहा है. cooperation की बात कर रहा है, इसका मतलब वो किसकी बात कर रहा है? सोशल बॉन्डिंग की बात कर रहा है, राइट. सो आई थिंक दिस सेंटेंस शुड कम इन ब्रैकेट 3, क्योंकि वो यहाँ पर दोनों जगह वो किसकी बात कर रहे हैं? सोशल कोऑपरेशन की बात कर रहे हैं. एंड दिस इज ऑल टुगेदर डिफरेंट बेनिफिट ऑफ लैंग्वेज. सो दिस एलिवेटेड सेंटेंस विल कम इन ब्रैकेट 3. आई होप you got the idea how to go for such questions, and trust me, sentence insertion questions are actually doable questions in examination. You just have to follow certain things and then yes, you will be in a position to solve it. Okay, so let us go for another question. We will all live under mob rule until then, okay, which doesn't help anyone. अब यहाँ पर आप देख सकते हैं until then आ रहा है, तो यहीं पे आपको समझ जाना चाहिए कि until then है, इसका मतलब author is talking about some maybe again some idea, some opinion, some, it can be anything, right? Now as we grow more comfortable with social media conversations being part of the way we interact every day, we are going to have to learn how to deal with legitimate criticism. Here the author is talking about social media conversations. We are more into the social media, we are interacting through social media, okay, and obviously we are also going to get the criticism, but then it all depends upon us that how we deal with those criticisms. So here author is talking about what? Some problem and also the solution what saying that we have to deal with those criticisms very gracefully, right? Perhaps we need to learn to condense. What is the meaning of condense? Condense means to decrease the feedback we receive online so that 100 replies carry the same weight as just one. तो उसने फर्स्ट थिंग तो क्या बात बोला है कि हमें कंडेंस करना है रिप्लाईज को. कंडेंस कैसे करना है रिप्लाईज को? दैट 100 रिप्लाई शुड बी इक्वल टू 1. ठीक है, इसे हमें रिड्यूस करना है. A new norm. Now here you see a new norm will arise where it is considered unacceptable to reply with the same point that dozens of others have already. मतलब ऑलरेडी जिस तरह से पहले के लोग उनसे डील कर चुके हैं, तो अब हमको ऐसे डील नहीं करना चाहिए. इट इज गोइंग टू बी unacceptable that we are going to that we are dealing with the those things with the same point only, right? Now you see this sentence cannot come in bracket 1. Reason? Until then what are we talking about? It cannot come in bracket 1. Okay, if I talk about bracket 2, so are we talking about any new idea over here in this particular sentence? Okay, and one more thing you can see over here that this sentence, it is in future tense and this sentence is also in future tense, right? But this is in present tense. So again I cannot keep this particular sentence in bracket 2. Okay, because here we're talking about how to handle the criticism, and here we are also talking about that how we can condense those replies. So basically these are the solutions only, right? So now between 3 and 4, so first is eliminated, second is eliminated. Again we have to see that in which blank this particular sentence will come. Now a new norm will arise where it is considered unacceptable. So something will come, okay, और वहां पर किसी चीज को अनएक्सेप्टेबल कंसिडर किया जाएगा. ठीक है, तो ये तो अच्छी बात है, अनएक्सेप्टेबल नहीं किया जाएगा, एक्सेप्ट नहीं किया जाएगा इस चीज को। तो रिप्लाई विद द सेम पॉइंट दैट डजन्स ऑफ अदर्स हैव ऑलरेडी। तो अब यहाँ पर आपको क्या लगता है, वी विल ऑल लिव अंडर मॉब रूल। अब यहाँ पर मॉब रूल किसके लिए आ रहा है, मॉब रूल यहाँ पर आ रहा है उस ग्रुप और क्राउड के लिए जो नॉर्मली हमें फीडबैक्स रिप्लाईज वगैरह देते रहते हैं, ओके, एवरी नाउ एंड देन। तो अगर अंटिल देन मतलब जब तक कि ये न्यू नॉर्म अराइज नहीं होगा तब तक, तो पहले क्या अराइज होना चाहिए, न्यू नॉर्म, और उसके बाद ही यहाँ पर हम इस सेंटेंस को रख सकते हैं। So we will all live under mob rule until then, which does not help anyone and it is not going to be helpful for anybody. So this blank should come in bracket 4. All right, because until then here we are talking about this particular, जब तक ये नहीं आएगा तब तक। I hope you got the idea. Okay, so yes, it's very easy peasy. You just have to apply the certain tips and techniques and you can solve such questions very beautifully, and that too in less time. और ये आपको पता होगा कि एग्जाम में you need not give more than 1.5 minutes in these types of questions, in verbal ability questions. At the max 2 minutes, but not more than that. But if you are going to follow such tips and techniques, you are going to solve them very easily, and that too in less time. So I hope you learn the entire techniques of solving para completion or sentence insertion questions. So keep practicing with me, with KYMS Academy, and together we make it happen. Thank you so much.